All right. Trying to catch up where we left off. So we had our base pipeline working. Obviously, we left some to-dos knowing that we had to come back, that we were going to break the pipeline in some weird edge cases and things like that when we start manipulating it while it's live. Up until this point, everything we've done in the pipeline has been messing with it before we started up. We've done all of that. If you've been around for prior streams, we've demoed that. I can demo it again, I guess. But what we're currently working on is the HTTP API for manipulating the mixer. And we left off, we had got our first endpoint implemented, which was just our mixer list. I think there's some changes we can make to this real quick. And then we'll start working on how do we add a mixer, how do we add inputs to the mixer, and some things like that. So let's start there. So we have a handlers section here, and this is our mixer list. I want to add a couple of properties though. So where is our... Oh, it's a vec of mixer. Where is our mixer type? Okay. So I want to add a couple of things here. I want to add a, what do I want to call it? Like an input count? I don't know. Let's go with U8. I don't know if you're going to have more than 255 inputs. Oh, wait. What is... Rust likes this way. There we go. Whoa. Oops. Okay. So in our handlers section down here, we should be able to now just do like a input count m dots inputs dot. I'm sure there's a way to count when. There we go. Output. There we go. Dr. Vim, what's going on? Okay, so this is private. We need to fix that. Question is, do we want to make this public? Yeah, everything's going pretty good. Just sort of catching back up where I left off on all of this stuff. Hoping to make some significant progress. So far, it's been like an uphill climb getting some stuff to work, but I figure as I pick up the language, we'll pick up speed. Okay, for now I'm going to make these public. I'm not entirely sure that I want to do that. Because I don't know whether I want to manipulate these from the outside. Maybe the better thing to do here is to just add functions. Yeah, I actually really do enjoy Rust. There are things that I really, really love about it. Some things, especially the way generics are done. I really like how matching is done. I really like how you can embed types inside of enums. So it's ridiculously fast. So I will say that I really, really do enjoy Rust. There are some things about it that I haven't fully wrapped my head around, which kind of show their head a little bit when doing things like warp. It kind of forces you to understand things. I still run into some issues with ownership and lifetimes that I'm not often able to fix, and it forces me to kind of rethink how I would design something, and I wouldn't normally design it that way. Not necessarily bad, just different. And then, let's see. And then some of the other issues I've had with it are really just kind of interoperating with C, right? All of the GStreamer stuff. We're kind of like trying to wrap C libraries in Rust-like things, which kind of becomes a leaky abstraction. But I mean, all in all, it's a great language, and I'm looking forward to picking it up a little better. It's more just the struggle of, you know, you think you're going to start out like, oh, we're just going to build an API server, something I could whip out in, you know, a few minutes and go. Becomes like this seeking of knowledge and wisdom about Rust. I didn't think it would take me, you know, 3-4 hours to get the first endpoint working, but I'm learning along the way, which is awesome. And I'm really looking forward to trying to do some embedded stuff in this instead of C. That was a long-winded answer, but hopefully answered your question. Do you use Rust at all? Okay, what we're gonna do. Oh, right. We were going to just add, we're just gonna add a function to give us a count, because I don't want to, input count.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Rob Connery. How'd you find the stream? So Rob is a coworker of mine who is working on the scheduler portion of this project. We've brought up the diagram a couple of times here for how kind of all of this would work. Rob is building this component, which is all of the date logic, which he is a wonderful, wonderful human being for taking one for the team and doing all of the date logic. And also, I think I have a thing here. We have mentioned this before here. Is that it? Is it imposter? Am I spelling imposter wrong? There we go. There we go. Too early in the morning. Even though it's not morning. So we've talked about this a couple times on the stream, the Imposter's Handbook. Rob Connery here is the author, and it is an amazing book. And if you haven't read it, you should. Yeah, there's some words like that. What's the other one? Is it program? There's a couple words that, depending on the country and things like that, are spelled multiple ways, and it always screws me up. All right, so we're just gonna return a U8 here, even though U8 is probably the wrong thing here. So let's just do self.inputs.length. There we go. Mismatch types. What does length return? A U size. Can we just use a U size in that type? I don't know what the appropriate approach is here. Is U size an appropriate thing to pass around like this? Or should I convert it earlier? Alright, so let's copy this and let's just go to where our add output is, and we'll do the same thing. We'll just paste it up here. Output. Output. Alright. Oh, that's still here. What line number was that? 57 and 58. Okay. So we're going to come here. Now we can just change this to input count. I don't know if that's the appropriate naming conventions for Rust either. Rob, have you been around to see the pipeline working? No method impact count for mixer. It is here. What is this? All right, we've got some issues where we defined input count, so let's go find it. Oh, what is... There we go. Alright, there's an associated function output count. I apparently can't type today. Okay. There we go. Alright. There we go. Alright, so now let's start working on, as much as I'm going to hate this because we are probably going to struggle through it, it will be our first time taking a body from something submitted. So we're going to now implement a handler for creating a mixer. Mixer create. I don't know what we're doing here, so let's just do to do. Okay. This is gonna fail because we can't use this when we're returning a trait. Okay. Alright. We'll come back to you. So the first thing we need to do is add a filter for it. So this is our mixer list. Let's do or mixer create here. We'll come back to the individual get. I guess we already have it there. Okay, I changed my mind. Let's implement mixer get first. So this should be pretty easy because it's basically the same thing as this. Okay. Okay. Now we need to implement our handler here, which is going to be basically the same thing as this, except we are going to filter this. So we're going to get our mixer. What's the word I'm looking for? We don't need an iterator. What we need, let's leave this. We need to call dot get, I think. Is that what it is? Get, and we need the key. Now I forget how to get stuff out of the URL. Crap. Alright, we gotta back up. Because I'm dumb. Alright, so... Okay, so this is how the arguments are coming in. So we need to actually, I guess, in here call... how do we do this? Okay, so I need to go look at this. So you'll have to apologize how slow I'm going to move with this because this is my first time playing with Warp. So basically what we're trying to do here is this filter here is basically how we set up the routes. That's what these filters are going to be used for. And then inside of the filter, it's like a giant macro thing if I recall. inside of here we've said, well, mixer slash some string, that's what this is going to match, and it needs to be a get request. And right now we're calling this like closure with the individual thing pieces of the URL. And for now we're just returning back this. So I think we need to, can I do, I don't know if I can do this, right? Because we need server. Can I just call, let's try it this way. Can I just say handlers mixer create and pass it name? Wait, my book, the Go in Action book, or the Imposter's Handbook that Rob wrote? I appreciate that. I'm always happy to hear when people have gotten value out of, you know, things that you spent a lot of time on. Ooh. Okay, so do we not need, can we just call it this way? Server name. Okay, so this might work. Mixer create. No, not create, get. Get. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. Get, all right. I started to switch a lot of projects over to Go after getting through maybe 3/4 of it. Awesome, yeah, Go, I really do love Go. And, you know, I'm really enjoying Rust for a lot of things. But I feel like they're going to be like my two, they're going to be the two things I go to, right? Currently, I think, like, especially fighting through all of this, that in the future, if I need to build an API server, just a quick HTTP API server, I think that Go is probably the thing I'm going to lean on. But I mean, unless there's a reason that the whole project needs to be written in Rust. But there are a lot of things I can see myself using Rust for. So here we need to get name. And then we said we were going to pass in a name, which is a string. Okay. Can I find the value name in scope? Oh. There we go. Okay. Mismatched types. What type are you supposed to take? Is it McCann, what's going on? Okay, so we must have taken an str there. Okay. All right. So let's see. We're not going to map it because it's going to be an option. So let's break this up. So this is going to be our mixer that's returned back from the server. And can we turn that into, because I know there's like a like unwrap or, right? Or an expect or, it's something like that. Unwrap or else. Unwrap or trying to think here how this works. I know we can use this like return an error. Let's just do that. We'll come back and do error handling in a bit. For now, let's see if we can get like a working API going. All right, so mismatch types. Oh, because it's not a vector, right? We're not doing that anymore. Okay. Now, let's see. Suppose we can just take all of this, right? There we go. Cannot find value M. Oh. Okay. Oh, we need to fix it here too. Field outputs of struct mixer is private. Oh. Output count. Okay. Your internet's being dumb. All right. Creates a temporary which is freed while still in use. What temporary value is freed? What is this saying? All right. I'm going to comment you out just so that we don't have to look at this error. We'll come back to you. So what is this telling us? Creates a temporary which is freed while still in use. Does it matter if we break this up? Interesting. M.unwrap. I guess I don't understand why that logic changes. Oh, we still have temporary very dropped while borrowed. Do we need to do like an unwrap.clone maybe? Because we're holding the lock there. That's my guess. Is we were holding the lock and the second that statement is over, we lose the lock. Let's find out. And so, Dr. Vim, to answer your question, these are sort of the things that I run into, and I don't quite understand them. And that's more of a lack of understanding of the language than a dislike. The get takes ownership of the variable. So how do we just get a copy of the value then? Is get key value what we want? Is that the difference between these things? What does that return? Oh, it returns back key value. Okay, so that's not what I want. It implements the deref trait to access what's inside the mutex. Rust deref trait. So we manually dereference this to get a copy of it? What am I missing here? Melky Dove, what's going on? I am losing. I am losing the game of Rust. I'm finally like into doing things with Rust where, you know, I'm running up against kind of lack of understanding of the language itself. But it's all good. It's all good. I mean, it's not fun or entertaining for people to watch, but at the end of it, I'm going to be a lot smarter for it, so. So there's got to be a way to do this, right? Because I don't even care about the actual value. I just want a copy of it. I don't need ownership of the value inside of this hash map. I just want access to it. And I know that I could create something on the mixer type itself, which hands me back this response type, but that feels like the wrong place to put it. I don't want to like start embedding HTTP response types into the legitimate type. You bet yourself and 30 other people would disagree on what? The watching me flail around and figure out Rust is not entertaining. So I understand now, I think, what's happening here, right? Is we get ownership here, and then at the end of this line, we're losing it. If I understand that correctly. Rocker Boo, let me fix our. Okay, sound should work now. So name clone, borrow later used here. Consider using let binding to create a longer lived value. Are these things connected to each other?
Super creative.
It is super creative. Okay, I want to try something. Why is it mentioned this line, right? What does this have anything to do with anything? Mismatched types. Should be what, toString? Okay. So we're gonna change some stuff and see whether we can figure this out. Line 60. Oh, wrong one. This is the one we wanted to test that on. This one needs to go back to what it was. Okay. Let's see if we can try to understand this a little bit better. Okay, so it's everywhere here. So it has something to do with the fact that we're taking this and then borrowing it later here. But we don't even really need to borrow it for that, right? So let's go look at our mixer here. Where's our output count? Because we don't really need to borrow this. What was the other one? Name. Name just something that's on there. It is. So we are gonna have to borrow it for that though, right? Ah, Carter run. JT, what's going on? Okay, a move occurs because has a type mixer which just does not implement copy trait. Okay, so we ended up breaking more stuff that way. So let's put it back. I apparently don't understand what I'm doing enough. Was curious how orange looked. Yeah, that's just a random color we found and assigned to the name orange. So you can pass hue any color between 0 and 65,000. And apparently it's not working for me. Okay, well that worked. So what am I missing with the numbers? Oh, no, numbers work. Okay. So where am I going wrong here? I guess I don't understand this. I want to understand, like, from a language implementation, what exactly is happening here. Temporary value dropped while borrowed. So what value are we talking about? Are we talking about the mixer? Or are we talking about the mixer's hash map? Or are we talking about the mixer itself that's returned here? Which thing are we borrowing? And consider using a let binding to create a longer lived value. But isn't that what we're doing here? And it didn't seem to care. What line was that on? 57. 57. It didn't seem to care. Oops, not here. It didn't seem to care if we split this up. If we just acquired the lock and left that as a lock guard, and then said let mixer equal m.unwrap, right? It just shifted where our issue was. I mean, I suppose we could do this here, right? Couldn't convert the error. Ah, all right. So we move the issue to here. Okay, so the error we've now determined is not about the mixers and the lock. It is about the mixer returned from get. So it returns a reference to the value. The key may be borrowed from a map key type. See, this is the part that I don't understand. Consider using a let binding to create a longer lived value. Is that just about this here, I'm guessing? Let me move all of this out really quick. All right. Let's let's just do this really quick. We're just trying a few things here. This is kind of fun too, and like when you're learning a language early on, is to just sort of experiment things and on things and see what changes, and then you start kind of getting a better concept of how things work. Okay, get returns a reference to an object, but the object becomes not used if you have it in one line. The unlock returns the actual guard or something else. When you get the guard in the same expression, it will be dropped in that expression. Right, so how do we... So is the proper approach to sit here and unwrap it on each call? So do you really have to do that? No. So we still have the issue here. On the first, and you drop the guard, aka the mutex lock when it's dropped, which it is at the end of the scope. So I'm trying to understand how I can use it here to do this. Because I don't feel like this is going to work. And that would be really crazy if that's how we needed to get around this. I have the feeling as soon as I get all three of them done, that the error just pushes back up. And this is really just the error reporting in the editor and not anything to do with things actually being fixed. Right. So, yeah. It just sort of looks temporarily fixed for a minute. It's commonly used with the lock.unwrap. Well, that's what we tried to do, right? We tried to do this. Oh, weird. Why does it work this way? Interesting. Cat Peasant, what's going on? This is weird because there's a couple variations of the way we broke this up on one line. Or on multiple lines, and I guess that's just the lock and the unwrap need to be on the same line. I don't know, it works. Expected signature of function standard string. Okay, so map is not going to work the way we expected it to. So let's go to that line where we call this. It was worth a shot. So we need to come up with a way of doing this and then, but passing it per the parameters. Let's look at the warp to do's example and see what it has, how it's managing. Oh, there's not a list. Let's see. Update. That's with DB. Update to do. Okay. How is that getting passed in? Okay. So we need to figure out how they're obviously passing in this ID here, but how is that getting mapped to here? Right? Warp path to do's /u64, right? Is that just because it's the order in which this is applied here? So if that is the case, that would mean, because we have this mixer /string, there's automatically going to be if we turn this around, it should be like this. And let's go. Okay, let's go get, let's switch sides here. Does this work? No. Okay, why? Oh, because we still have the map in there. Line 113. Function is expected to take one argument, but it takes 2 arguments. Oh, wait, we need our width server. Okay. Type mismatch in function argument. Oh, because this is a string. And then this needs to be a right now as str. Okay. All right, everybody needs to find some new colors. Just find a color value you like, and then tell me what you want to name it, and we'll save some more in the bot. Okay, so here's our one mixer. Let's look for, I called it eric.dev. Perfect. Okay, so now we have our list, and then we have our individual mixers. Perfect. Garion, what's going on? Okay, next up. Now let's try to create a mixer. Okay, so let's go down to our filters here, and we are going to have a similar thing here. So we're going to have mixer create. We need to pass in our server.
We have a new follower.
We're going to call our create handler. Thanks for the follow, Easton. Okay. And then we need to come up to where... Wait, routes. Where are you, routes? There we go. Okay. Right. No, it's this whole line. Right. Whoa. There we go. Okay. Mixer create. Okay. So these are, now we've defined our route. Melky, do you stream today? Forgot to shout out Melky too. Melky Dev is also a streamer. I am always hanging out in there. He has an awesome channel. Recently, he's been doing some NLP stuff. A way smarter man than I. I need to get better about doing the shout outs. Okay, so we have added the route. We set up the handler. So now we need to actually implement our handler. So where are our handlers? Here. Okay. So let's use this to-dos list as an example. Let's see, mixer or is it? To-dos create. That's what we want to use as reference. To-dos create. Okay, so this is their filter, which is this them setting up the route. And so this looks like how they are. That's the filter, right? So this is just same thing, looking for post, JSON body. Interesting. Let's take that really quick. But what I'm interested in is how they're handling the actual implementation. Wait, Is that the handler? No, that's still the filter. Oh, that's why create to do is there. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So let's go to our filter here where we set up our route. And let's just look at theirs really quick. So, right, all of this is the same, except this is obviously a post request now. We're passing in server. It does have like this JSON body thing. So I'm guessing that the body here is somehow going to be mapped to the type that we say, right? Because that's all they're doing differently. So there's like some magic here that's occurring. And JSON body. What is this yelling at me for? Cannot find function. Oh. So JSON body is what? Is that something they implemented? Oh, it is. Okay, so they have implemented some kind of function that implements filter. I don't fully understand this. If somebody here knows Rust better than I do, I get this, right? This is a generic type, right? It has two types. We're setting error equal to, well, I should take that back. So this is saying that we are looking for something that implements the filter trait and the clone trait. And these are generic types that are passed in. So I'm guessing it's just assigning this to do to it and this type to the error type internally. And I don't fully understand what this is. Is this as simple as I think it is, where this is just a tuple, where the first element is a to-do and the second one is nothing? Right. Associated types. That's the term I'm looking for. So internally, there's some extract type that's being used and some error type that's being used. And here we're telling the compiler specifically these are the types that we mean when we refer to error inside of the implementation of this filter. But what is this magic? Is that a tuple where there's the first element in the tuple is a to-do and the second one is nothing? Is that what that means? Or does this syntax have some other weird meaning that I'm not aware of? Thanks for the save toggle bit. All right, let's copy this function. And we will just put it with our other helper method here. We're probably going to want to change this to something else that's more specific, but the type extract is a tuple with a single type called to do. Okay, so is that just like a weird side effect with the fact that you always need a comma, even if it's not the last element in the list? Okay. Cannot find mixer. Super. Okay. Cannot resolve opaque type on mixer create. Oh, because we haven't implemented this yet. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So we need to go up into our handlers. Okay. So now, oh, it's just returning back a status code. Okay. If you don't have the comma, it's the same as saying extract equals to do. Okay. Drunk Time Lord, what's going on? Okay, let's see. Failed to resolve use of undeclared type or module status code. I'm guessing we are just missing a use statement. Yeah, that's all we're missing. Let's find our handlers. Handlers. There we go. Okay. Expected function to take 2 arguments. Oh, right. So our first argument is our mixer of type mixer. How many times do I have to get that colon before? Cannot find, oh, super. I'm scared of Rust. I mean, it has its struggles. If it's all over your car, you should be. I hear Coca-Cola gets that out, though. Yeah, I mean, Rust is interesting. Drunk Time Lord, is this your first programming language you're learning? At least what I've come across in Rust so far, if like it's a first programming language, I would personally probably advise against using Rust. However, I don't think the language is bad. I think that it's quite possible to write lots of Rust without running into some of the weird issues. And issues is the wrong word for it too, right? Because it's not really an issue. There's nothing wrong with the language. It's we all kind of carry with us our experiences from other programming languages. So when we run into something different, it just sort of like becomes a wall for us. It's a huge barrier to kind of cross. So I say, you know, just accept it. You're going to run into stuff. You're going to struggle with it a little bit, and that's okay. Just based on, you know, I'm sure that if I was a full-time C++ programmer, that a ton of this would probably just make sense to me, right? It also gets out the metal holding together your thing. Now, I've done quite a bit of Python, C++, JS, looking into Go. Go is awesome too. That's been my primary language since 2011. I've been a full-time Go programmer. I've just heard things about Rust that make me want to learn it, but it's just scary for some reason. And hey, Drunk Time Lord, maybe being scared of it is a really good reason to actually learn it. I find that my greatest growth in my career and knowledge has been at the end of some just thing that I'm just struggling with. So it's kind of fun to jump in the deep end sometimes and try to figure out how to swim. Okay, we are running. Okay, so in theory, if we let's see, how do we want to do this? I don't think I have Postman or anything installed to just submit something, but in theory, if we took something like this, right? Excuse me. And if I want to return an image with a certain REST API route, would it be best to return a URL to that image or just the image itself? I guess that depends on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to serve up the image? Then, because why return the URL? I guess a third option would be you could send a redirect header to redirect them to where the image is. But pass through would also be an option too, where you just pass the MIME type and then the raw data back in the body, the response body, and then it would just show up as the image for them. which would also allow you the ability if you wanted to keep statistics on the number of times it was served and things like that. Okay, what was I going to do? Oh, this is going to be one of those weird things. All right, we're just going to look it up because I'm going to look really, really bad when I can't remember curl. Stack Overflow.
Sir, as thrilling as this might be for your viewers, you could simply check the Stack Overflow.
Okay, there we go. Oh wait, this is somebody saying what command they do. No. Oh, right, yeah. Okay, this is what we need.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Swedish. All right, let's just throw together a little scratch pad here. Okay, so what we want is we're just going to copy this data. And we need to build a test suite for this, but that would probably, maybe we should do that. We'll test this, and then let's look into testing, because that's one thing I have not started to do yet. So, test creation. I don't know. 6, 2. Okay. And then we need, it was 3030. 3030. Mixers. And that's it. Okay. Okay. All right, that did not work. Is that Vim? Is that a power level 9K theme on it? Okay, so yes, this is Vim. Most of what you're looking at is like all of the Chrome that's on it is a plugin called Airline. And that's what's doing all of that. This theme is base 16 base. So this is base 16 default dark. Can you Rust in an offline environment? Yeah. I mean, assuming that you have all of the packages that you use as dependencies already stored locally, like you've already pulled them down, you can totally do Rust offline. Okay, so where were we? Oh, because we're not actually doing this. We never implemented this. HTTP. So we need mixer create. Okay. So let's go implement it. Oh, right. So we created it inside of our server. So here, what we want to do is call our server.mixer create, and we're going to pass it. Oh, wait. We don't care about any of this. We just care about the name. Let's go with this. We're probably going to have to evolve this in the future. Right now it's a name, but there could be some additional information we might pass along with it. We might even have to create some separate types that we use for like list, get, and create. So, but for now, let's just go with this mixer name. That's all we need. Let's see. We need, let's do a match on this, right? Because I know that it returns back a result type, right? Okay. So if we get back okay, right? I think this is how that works. Then we're going to all right. if we return back an error. For now, we don't care. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. We're gonna have to do some better stuff here, but for now, what do we want? I'm sure it's in. We got created, accepted. I guess, I don't know whether we want to say it's a bad request or not. We'll have to look at the error later. There we go. Let's just say internal server error for now. We're going to have to obviously mismatch types. Why? Why? Have you tried WebAssembly? I was wondering if you'd be able to finally hide source code on the web using WebAssembly. I have done some stuff in WebAssembly. I have not done enough where I would want to like do a stream or a talk or something publicly about it. I've done some Rust compiled to WebAssembly, mainly for fun little demos and projects. But the thing about it is though, right? Like, define hiding source code, right? Like we already have source code obfuscators, right? And is that any different than assembly language, right? So if I write a program and I give you a statically compiled binary, you could disassemble it. The names of types and functions and things like that may not make any sense, but you could take assembly and have it produce you C code, right? So I guess it depends on what lengths do you want to go to hide your code, and what do you consider hiding your code, right? I would just like to say that I appreciate how you read the questions before responding to them. Yeah, I think that comes from like public speaking. Like whenever somebody in the audience asks a question, you always repeat it back. And I think that it also gives you time as you're reading the question out loud to kind of formulate your thought and your response like as you make your way through the statement again. Oh, a lot of streamers don't do this? I guess I would have just assumed it'd be a given. Okay, we need to borrow this here. Oh, the musicians? What musicians do you follow? I currently only follow one musician. And if nobody here follows him, you must now follow him. Very Handsome Billy is like amazing. Which plugin? So this is all the new whatchamacallit? Oh, no. I'm drawing a blank here. Where's Tej? Where's Rocker Boo? It's funny. .config and vim. Plugin settings. Completion. So that is all done here. I'm using the built-in LSP of the new nightly NeoVim stuff. And then where's my other stuff? Where's my annotation stuff? Where did I put that? UI? Now I can't remember where in my settings I put this. It's not text. Is it text? No. Where's all my type hinting stuff? Where did I put you? I don't think I put it in with telescope stuff. Telescope is really awesome if you haven't looked at that yet either. Where did I put this? No. Is it just in my init? I apologize. All of my Vim stuff, I've been playing with a lot of new features, so I've just like been throwing it in random places. But where is it? All right, let's go find this because this is gonna drive me nuts. Config nvim ag hint. Okay, that's too much. cd, we want to go in this directory. Now let's look for it. Oh, it is right here. Here's my inlay hints. It was in the completion file. The first place I looked, I just missed it. So as part of the LSP extensions, there's this inlay hints thing, and that's what I'm using to do that. Which, if you are interested in all of that stuff, we're going to do another shout out here. Tej DV is also a Twitch streamer, and he works, he's a NeoVim core developer and works on all of this stuff, including the new telescope stuff. So I'm trying to think of what I set up here that I can demo. I'm sort of like in between things. Oh, right. Where's the planets? Oh, it's not gonna show up. Yeah, because my font size is too big. Am I gonna get stuck in this now? There we go. Now let's try it. So this is like a reusable thing, almost like FCF, but this is all easily extendable. So you can fuzzy search whatever you want, and over here in the preview panes you can have other stuff. Bump up the font again. Okay. Is that good? Okay, so we are currently running. We should be able to redo this now. Did that create it? It did not. All right, so we need to make this more verbose. We got a 201 created. Wait, what is this? Post is already inferred. We got a 201. Do you have RLS or Rust Analyzer plugin for Vim or something? I sold out to VS Code before trying to... I have Rust Analyzer installed. Okay, so we clearly have an issue here. And now the question is where? Because we are returning back an okay here. However, inside of our mixer create function, we clearly are not. So, because we're not doing anything here. So really, we should be returning back this. Standard option none error. So we can't convert these error types? Is that our issue? Alright, hold on. So here we have new. That returns a Box-Stein standard error. What does the insert return? What does that return? So this is, we need to do a, I always forget the syntax of this. So what we want is
interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Expect or, right? No. We don't really need to unwrap it. It's not an okay. Wait, no, I think, or is it or else? Or else, right? I forget that. Okay works on both. Oh. Thanks for the follow, Pudgelicious. Oh, right. Okay, so this transforms our option into a result, right? Uh-oh. No method named OK found for standard option in the current scope. Okay, so apparently it does not work. No, it's okay or. Oh, it doesn't return back a result object. Well, no, it doesn't have a method okay, right? So this is okay or. That returns back a result, which would be fine. But what do I pass into it? Do I just create like a... I need my error type here, right? And then it would be... I know that's going to error out, but we'll look at how that works in a second. I think this is basically what I'm looking for. Wait, what? Expected value found mixer. Alright, so we're not doing it here. I think we're doing it in here. Right. Where was I using this at? Interesting. There was somewhere I was creating my own error. All right, this is where I was doing like that mixer error new thing. Do I need to go through all of that? Right. Toggle it. That's what I'm looking at now. I just have to, I guess, copy this logic for creating my own error type. So I have to implement all of this again. That's what it appears to be. I wish there was like, there's got to be a way for me to just... There has to be a way for me to be able to just do something like this, right? And just say, I don't know, standard error, right? Is there a way to just do this without having to create my own error type? Or am I sort of like locked into needing to create my own type? I mean, right now I'm just going to copy all of this over. But if somebody knows a better way than having to implement this each time, I am all ears. Let's just call this an HTTP error. Okay. Hold on. Let's leave that open. Okay. Instead of copy, could you not implement into for, or yeah, if that error type just isn't appropriate, then never mind. I normally do my errors as enums and implement from, but there are crates that help with this. Trying to remember the ones. Yeah, I'd really love insight into that. Insight returns back an option. Right, exactly what ToggleBit said. Okay, there we go. That's resolved. Now what are we missing? Expected trait found type alias. This error. Okay, let's take a look. Alright, provides a convenient derive macro for the standard library standard error. Alright. Okay, so... Oh, the same person who did Serde. Awesome. Okay, so I like the way this has like this enum. So where's the usage of it? Or is this just our own thing? All right, let's do this. Let's swap this out. So who suggested this? Vega and... Yeah. Thanks for pointing this out. Let's go add that to our cargo tab. Cargo. All right. So let's Let's do it in our HTTP first. So that means we should be able to get rid of all of this craziness here. And then let's just do something like this for now. And we need to do a use this error. Okay, let me delete that. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm guessing this is just telling it what the string value of that error should be. I'm not quite sure what this is doing. I'm guessing this is some sort of annotation that implements a from trait to convert from IO error into our error type. Okay, so this is gonna be cool. Okay. All right, I'm in. Let's use this. So one of them we need is oh, cool. Do I have that? Nice. Let's see if I remember that the next time I need to do it. Okay, so let's see. Unknown error. We're just going to use this one for now. Actually, let's do this. Let's also do an exists. Let's just say item with this name already exists, and we'll use this for everything. We'll use it for inputs and stuff too. So cannot find attribute error in this scope. Okay, we are missing an import. Oh, because we need to derive. Okay. So let's try. So we need to go to mixer create. So that would mean we should be able to just do a HTTP error. Now question, should we just have all of these return back our error type? Or do they have to be... Okay, let's try this really quick. So can we just say this? Or will it break everything? I mean, it seems to be okay. I'm just going to say it's an exists error. Expected value found module mixer. Name. Oh, wait, we need to create a mixer. Okay. What do we complain about? No function registration with new found for struct HTTP mixer. We need right. mismatched types. Where's our mix? Let me resize this really quick because we don't need our bot console that big. Where are our mismatch types? Expected enum found. Oh, right, just because we don't have an expression returning. What we really want is this, right? Okay, so here's our issue. All right, and I think this is okay too, because we probably really want to return back a mixer here. No, we don't. We don't want to do that. Because we don't want the HTTP mixer to be returned. We want... yeah. Let's not do that. We're going to do this. Let's just do a match here. And if it's okay, then we're just going to return back our unit struct. If there's an error, then we're going to return back right? We'll just rewrap it. Okay. And then I guess we could do the same thing here, right? Because really we could do an okay. Oh, this is making things so much cleaner and easier to do our error handling. So here we could just say unknown, right? No method okay are found for enum. Oh, it was already a result type. No? Could not convert the error to HTTP error. Okay, so we need like some sort of from here. So why did this not work? Ah. No method found okay or for enum standard result. Why does that not have an okay or on it? It's just an or else. So this sort of give us the ability to kind of rewrap the error, right? What? What am I missing here? Returns back a result. Mismatch types. Hold on, let's look. Well, unwrap or is going to give us unwrap or gives us a type or defaults, which is not what we are looking to do. We just want to if this...
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Because new returns back a result, right? But this is like a Box-Stein standard error. So I guess we either need to figure out...
Sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follows, pkung55 and C3X111. So what we're trying to do here is this is going to return back a Box-Stein standard error. So we either need to find a way to just say, hey, if we get any error from this, we want to return back our own HTTP error here. Or we have to come up here, and this is where I would need audience participation. We have to figure out how to implement a from for this type so that we can just automatically convert from there. Map error. Let's see. Where was that? Mixer create. Map error. Unknown. And is the more appropriate way to do this to implement the from trait on our type? Do we have to give it a closure? Closure is expected to take... Okay. So effectively what we're doing here is whatever errors come back in here, we need to pass it a closure. Okay. But we can do this, right? No? This error can implement from, but it depends on how common you're converting that error. Okay, so in this particular case, I think the standard error we would be doing a lot, because that's currently what the type of all things on the mixer returns. But this mapping can also work just as fine too. Map error, new error. The question mark does from into conversion. Right, yeah, and that's what I was hoping to do here, because I really like that flow of that. However, right now I'm saying that this should return an error. And maybe the answer here is simply this, right? I leave that this returns back a Box-Stein standard error, right? And then we call this an HTTP error. And then, what was it, mixer create. And then, where is it? What is this? Mismatch types. Oh, so this isn't going to convert there? I really think you should try and map instead of the match expression, though. You're talking about here, right? Dot map. Wait. Mixers. Dot insert. All right. So this would be an HTTP error. Error exists, right? And that's a result. Wait, just map? What's the advantage of going that route? All right, it needs a closure. Still have mismatch types. Map error maps the error side of things. Yeah, so that's currently, I think, all I'm trying to do, right? And I still need the map. Oh, wait. But how's... I think I still need the match, right? Because this function just returns a unit struct, and this method returns back an option with a value in it. And I don't care about the value, I just wanted to return back the unit struct. Oh, I gotcha. So it would be like, what, here? And then I would just return back the unit struct. Oops. All right, what are our mismatching types? Because it's expecting this to be in a box. Oops. Okay, now I'm really confused. I feel like I like this better when it was not all Box-Dyn standard error coming back. So let's get rid of that. I'm gonna go with just this. And then let's go change all of our HTTP error ones. I like the idea of being much more explicit here. This is just our error type. And I think we should change them inside of our, yeah. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Because all this Box-Dyn error stuff is actually kind of really messy. So I kind of want to change all of this out. Thoughts, everybody? Because right now the whole reason for this is we've got like this custom mixer error, and everything here just returns back like a Box-Dyn error thing. So I kind of like this approach. so in theory, we could just take this and copy it, right? And this would be a type mixer error, right? And then everywhere that returns back this mixer error, so Musin, you think that anyhow would be a better approach than basically mirroring this in each of our modules? All right, let's sideline for a second. Let's go look at it. So let's leave this open for comparison, and let's check out anyhow. Oh, okay, you would suggest this error. Okay, so let's just go that route then. So I'm just gonna refactor out all of this. So we're gonna get rid of all this mixer error stuff. And then we're gonna come into here. Because I really like this. Okay, so let's just say mixer here, right? Conflicting. Oh, because I already pasted it in there. Why did I paste it up there? So to copying errors, wouldn't it make more sense to have an error.rs unless they're different projects? I guess that's a good point. So yeah, that's a very, very good point, Togglebit. We could just have an error module that everything uses. The only case I think where I would really care about individual differences are if I ever wanted to separate the mixer logic into its own library, which I think I still want to do, and from the HTTP. However, mixer, input, output, all of those would exist in the same level, in the same library. So I think that would make sense at the very least to just have have shared errors between mixer, output, and input, and then maybe HTTP has its own, right? Because those are going to be very, very specific. But it's also one of those things where a lot of the errors being handed back are probably going to be mostly coming from the mixer library anyway. So maybe we can just use those. Well, I personally would have one error per logical unit and then a top level error that has each logical unit as a variant. Okay, yeah, I think you might be describing the same thing I was thinking, Musin. So my thought here is that maybe I have a sort of a structure like HTTP, and then I have the mixer library, and then nested inside of that I would have the input module, the output module, and something along this line, and then maybe there's like an error module that exists here.
It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Staticast. Oh, I get that too, Staticast. I have been distracted from work by many a stream. So would this be an appropriate? Right. So that's sort of my thought here, is that HTTP here would have its own errors. but there'd be like some shared module that inside of Mixer here. Maybe now is the appropriate time to also refactor this out, right? So I'm gonna close this for now. Right now we have our top level source directory where kind of everything's in it. But there are two things I'd really like to do. I really want to separate the binary from the library so that you can just import the library. And then I also feel like maybe HTTP should be its own thing, because maybe you don't want to run an HTTP server. So it might be a good time to implement that. So I think the way that works, we're going to break some stuff. Let's make sure we're building first. We are not building yet. All right, maybe we should finish this refactor for. Oh no. Let me undo this error logic here, and we'll just make sure we're building really quick. Oh crap! I might have backed up too far. Okay. All right, so we are now building. So let's refactor. So I know that. Oh wait, Houston says cargo. HTTP shouldn't really care about the mixer errors, and the main application does care about both. Okay, cargo uses conventions for multiple binaries in a project. Source bin foo bar or source bin foo bar main rs. Right. I think I'm only going to have one binary, which is just the HTTP server, but I do want to make sure that I separate it. So I think that I need a lib.rs up here, right? And a main.rs. And then I would put mixer here and then move input into mixer, move output into mixer, and move mixer into, I guess mixer would really be mixer lib.rs. I think that's the way that works, right? Do I need that lib.rs at the top level? All right, having a lib.rs and a main.rs in the source is fine, but you have to change where you use crate to project name. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly what I'm talking about, Musin, is like I kind of want to have multiple crates. One being the entire binary that uses the other crate, as well as the crate that's the library that you could import on its own if you wanted. Let's see. Cargo, multiple crates. You can totally have lib/bin as a single crate. Okay, so you're saying what I'm doing here with this lib in main in the top level is perfectly fine? And then I guess, does it make sense to have this HTTP up here? I mean, I guess so. It's used by main. You would move main. Where would you move main? Into bin? Like a bin. Okay. So we need a bin. Make directory bin. Move main. Okay. So now we have top level. We have an HTTP module. The lib. I wonder if I should move HTTP down with main. Okay. Well, we're going to break a ton of stuff here. So now we got to go figure out what we need to fix. I didn't know that. So you get around having to refer to it as an external crate if you put it in bin main rs. Okay, so inside main, so let's close all of these out because they are all in odd places now. Okay, so now we are looking for main rs. Oh, I just closed out my curl here, but oh well. So mod HTTP. So this would be mixer HTTP? No. So that's not what I'm looking for. I use source bin foo main rs to get a .foo. I usually have multiple binaries. Since you don't have one, you don't have to specify it when you use cargo run. Alright, I need to figure out how to fix my mod statements, because that's not how that works. Do I need to back it up? Right, because I'm down nested, right? So is this like crate mixer? All right, I'm missing something here. Oh, right. Because we changed up the whole. Because now our top level. Okay. Oops. That makes a ton of sense. So we need librs, and this is where we're going to use our mod statements. All right. And we're going to have. So this should be okay, right? Because oh, unless you have it next to, right? Yeah, no, we pushed our main down. So in main RS mixer. Oh, what did we name the name of? I think it's just RTMP switcher, right? Oh, I just have it switcher called switcher here, but so so this would be switcher. Okay, so that's that. What's wrong with our mod statements? Source input. So it's looking for it there. So technically this should be what? Mixer input? Is that the wrong syntax? Ah. What's the syntax for importing a nested? What? Wait a second. And that module you declare child mod. Where am I here? I'm in the parent lib. So down inside of mixer's lib.rs, I need to do a but mod mixer doesn't exist, right? So in here, mod.rs. That's all right. Mixer, we need to move lib.rs to mixer mod.rs. Is that the appropriate thing to do there, or can I just create a mod.rs inside of mixer? And then have it do these statements. But then we'd have like mixer or whatever, which would be kind of weird. All right. Could not find HTTP in switcher in our main. Why can you not find that in there? This is the name of our crate. Where did we put HTTP? It should be in the top level. Oh, is it because we're not doing mod HTTP inside of here? Is that our issue? Oops. There we go. You only have one librs for a crate, a collection of modules, right at the top level. Source librs, mixer.rs, mixer foo.rs, or mixer's mod.rs, mixer's foo.rs. All right. If you use the first, then all the modules in mixer are defined. If you use the second, then all the modules are defined in that mod.rs, and the librs will have mod mixer. Okay. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Although this is like a lot of other weird. No mixer and root. All right, so source HTTP. Wait, no. Hold on. No mixer in the root on line 4. So what we want is switcher mixer. Unresolved import switcher. Why is that unresolved? So we can get switcher HTTP. Why is that unresolved? Cargo, check. Messages, format equals short. Right. Oh, this is nice. Okay. This is slightly weird, but we'll get there. So, unresolved import switcher. HTTP main. So why? Wait, where's HTTP live? It lives at the top level. So is that? Is it just mixer? Great. All right. Some of the scoping of the way the imports and use statements are, or the use statements and stuff are slightly confusing to me, but so in some of the cases we're using crate, and maybe my issue is that I'm not wrapping my head around which parts of these are a crate. Is this its own crate? I would assume that's all the same crate, right? We have one crate. Binary is its own crate, and then everything here, because of librs, is its own crate. So it should be able to find mixer though, right? And that's my confusion here, is why this should work. There is a mod rs. Well, in this case, I guess I have this all here in the top level. So I guess what I really should be doing here is doing a... Does this need a mixer RS over here? Is this the appropriate way? Should mod RS only have these mod statements in it? Because that would create this situation, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it end up just being mixer? Okay, right. So okay, I was right there. So this should technically be back over here. Okay. So I still don't understand why that doesn't resolve though. Because there is a mixer directory here, and that has a mod rs in it. Mixer.rs above the directory is a new shorthand which acts as... my issue? There we go. That was my issue. I didn't have the mod mixer up here. I need to remember to do that. Alright, so now we get to fix all of the errors. File not found from module mixer. Oh, because we don't need that. Okay, we need to change this to, I guess... Or is it crate? Oh, okay. That works. Now, main.rs module HTTP is private. All right. So because it's based on a file, does that mean that I need to do like a pub mod here? Is that how that works? Alizone and Rebel Elder, welcome. I am new to the Rust world, so I don't want to make a ton of arguments as to why it became so popular, but I would say it probably became very popular because C and C++ are still widely used by tons and tons of things, and Rust is a great systems programming language, and it fixes all of the foot guns that people shoot themselves with doing C and C++. With all of its borrowing rules and things like that. No, child can always see its parent if that's what you're asking, but the binary main RS will definitely require what it uses to be public. Yeah, Rust and Go I see absolutely everywhere nowadays. Okay, so this is going to be one of those weird commits where we're committing a bunch of stuff at once, but actually no, because we don't have to commit the HTTP stuff, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and finish our error refactor here. We're going to copy this logic, except I think we decided what we wanted to do is create a new mixer error module. And then I guess we need a mod error up here. Okay. So let's just say mixer. We'll just use unknown for now. We'll get more descriptive errors in the future. So we're not going to need that. Did you finish the video stream thing, or is this part of it? Go back. This is part of it. So we got the mixer part working where we have multiple inputs, multiple outputs. We're kind of adding and deleting things. I think we finished all that logic. I hope we finished all that logic. Where we're manipulating the pipeline before we start. So now we are working on the HTTP API server for manipulating the pipeline so that we can just run it and send curl commands and eventually build a front end for it. What's impressive? What the streamer's doing already? Okay, so let's go into our HTTP. No, we already did that for our errors. So I need to find this whole box dying standard. Let's search and replace this. Yeah. All right, let's do it. So we want to replace, oops, box dying standard. Yeah, error. With just error. Do I need to escape that? No, that should match. What did I mess up? Box time. Oh. There we go. Okay. I guess we could just alias that too, right? So if we just took, did I implement this for everything? Yeah, a type error equals. Can I just do this? Oh, I guess I don't need to prefix that, huh? If I undo this and I just say, I want this, that should work. Yeah, okay. This is a common pattern type result t equals. Okay, I gotcha. See, these are the things that I like, Musin. I am glad you are here. These little idioms. These are the things that take forever. So we basically build a type alias here. Saying that whenever we say what's our error here? Yuvara, how's it going? Oh, thanks for the follow. I just caught that. It's standard. Oh, right. Yeah, I should have caught that too. Yeah, I've tried to help people on I've tried to help people on streams as well too, and then add the latency. Okay, so I guess in all of these cases, right here, what I would really say is this, right? This sort of cleans things up quite a bit. I like this. All right. I don't know why this is throwing an error though. I mean, it builds. So I guess I just ignore that. So I don't need that, right? Because okay. Okay. Next up. I need to do this in each of my types, right? Oops. There we go. You can import that result from the crate root. Okay. There we go. We're getting even better here. Let's see. That was, we wanted to use crate result. Okay. And now you said these GST, or this extern crate is supposed to only exist up here in the top level. So does that mean I don't need it here? I feel like I'm gonna get errors with this. No result in the root. It's in the lib.
Sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Togglebit. Yeah, I'm not even sure. This is from the examples that I found for GStreamer, so I don't know. Let's see what happens when I remove it. No result in the root. Is this because this needs to go... Where do we put it? Oh, because it's not in mod RS. We need to take this and put it here, right? No. Still missing something. Ooh. Yeah, so it's in librs, but somehow it's still not finding it. What am I missing? Oh, we're gonna have to come back to you. We'll leave you open for now. We'll leave you open for now. Well, I mean, here, I can do this too. All right, there's our current directory tree. Oh, wait a second. Why do we have a librs in here? What is in that? What is in that? Am I messing with the wrong thing? Yeah, what's in that file? Mixer librs. Okay, so that's the one we've been messing with. Source mixer librs. What's in the parent level librs? Okay. Alright, here's where we're going crazy. So this should go in here. Okay. Now our librs is really, this is the mixer. So mod mixer mod.rs. We've just been messing with entirely the wrong thing. Okay. Now we can get rid of our source mixer librs. Okay. At least this is a more helpful error. All right. So now in our librs, we have a bit of an issue online. Wait. You go away because I deleted you. You better not be back there. Okay. So now in our oh, okay. This is just a typo here. Oh. Maybe not. Wait, where's your handy dandy one-liner here? There we go. All right, let's start here. Mod rs on line 11. It's up, same. Wait, we don't need this here because it's up top in our lib, right? Oh, because we had already changed these, right? It's plural Krasny. Okay. Cannot find derived macro error in this scope. Alright, so I think this is just an import issue here. Right? Okay, yeah. So we need to, in our, this error logic, we need to import that. There we go. Okay, and so all of this is just fixing our refactoring. So this error. What's the difference here, Musin? Does this have something to do with the ultimate type of it? Also, shout out to Musin here. If you're interested in learning Rust, Musin's also a streamer and does a bunch of awesome stuff in Rust. Okay, so this is all our, wait, unused import. Is that, so I don't need to use the use statement because I'm already doing that? Is that what that's saying? Okay. Failed to resolve unresolved import. Is it error? Libar rests on line 7. This already includes a mixer. Alright, what are you saying? Failed to resolve unresolved import on line 7. Do I need to say use standard result here? Is that my issue? No, because then I just get the warning there. Oh, yeah, it's nested, that's right. Module error is private. We're going to need all of these to be public too.
Wonders may never cease. We have received a new subscriber, sir.
Goombek, thanks so much for the subscription. I always appreciate stuff like that. Xander Ford, thanks for the follow. I like it here too. Yeah, also, I'll shout out another streamer here on Twitch who is a coworker of mine who does a lot of Rust stuff as well. Okay, okay, let's start with these mixer errors in our mod RS, right? So in this case, it should just be error. Let's say use error. And then let's go to here. Oh, I don't need this whole logic, right? We should go ahead and fix this now too, because we now have our enum here. So let me undo both of these fixes. Yeah. Because we need to implement the same thing we did here, right? For our exists unknown, right? So let's go ahead and refactor those out while we're here.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Alex Craven. Joker Dan, what's going on? Okay, so here we're gonna add our input. We've got our exists, so we should just have to return back a error exists, right? All right, use error. All right. Is that gonna work? Wrong number of argument.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Dogweather. Doing pretty good. We're just continuing to work on this RTMP switcher. We're kind of working on learning some more Rust stuff while learning to build HTTP APIs in Rust. And this is the API we're going to use to modify the pipeline on the fly. Faster Than Lime has a pretty good blog and has been doing a lot of impressive long-form entries on Rust. All right, Togglebit, have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. All right, let's see. So I'm not sure what the error here is. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that we implemented this custom result, but that's my guess, is this is just a side effect of our little shorthand here. Maybe we should call it something different so that the LSP doesn't blow up. Okay, so let's go find our other mixer errors. Because now this is being used for everything. Let's just say item with this name. And item with this name already exists. Okay, perfect. We'll implement, let's leave that open for now. Let's work on mixer first. What was that? Okay. We're going to work on the mixer first. .132 needs a return statement in that file. Oh, oops. I forgot to put that back. Good catch. Okay. So now let's find this one. I guess we could do a not found. Not found. Not found. I like having this like central, like this source of truth here where I can come back to it and just modify in all of the places so there's consistent naming and everything. I also like having the enum that I can match on later as well. So we're going to have the same thing here. We'll just return an error, error not found. It would be interesting though too to come back later and add more things, right? So, because we should be able to like hold a string in here, right? And then the question is, can we, Musin, if you're still here, is there a way for us to customize what this error is, to format it based on some property in here? Because that would be interesting too. Like if I put the name in here, it'd be nice to, like a type and a name, right? If foo error. All right, let's copy over this. I mean, if we're gonna do this and refactor all of our errors, let's do it right. So let's paste this in here. From. Okay, so wait. There's our annotation. So .0 display. I'm not sure what this is saying here. So from is our way of saying we want to format it. Oh, it's error, not from. Okay. So it's already a format line. We're just passing it something. So are we saying here, like, if exists, we would say, if we said string here, we could say, so here we'd say, like, you know, name already exists. And then we would do, well, let's get one working first. So then we would come here and do what? Dot zero dot. Always love it when Musin is in a Rust stream chat, learns so much as well as from their own streams. Yeah, absolutely. I have learned a ton having Musin here. I've been trying out other error creates, so forgive my minor errors. No worries. So this would just be what, dot zero? If I just wanted to grab this element inside of here, right? My error. All right, so let's take a look. Let's just copy this in from chat really quick. And let's take a look. Okay. At our two examples. Okay. So. Okay, so in this particular case, because this is a tuple with just the string here, we don't even need this magic back here. We could quite literally just say, hey, give me the first element of the tuple, and that would work. Okay. And then in this case, we're saying if it's a struct, we do that here. Okay. So if we wanted to, we could say let's call this one 0 with the name already exists, right? And then we could have this be string string, right? A with the name is not found. Okay, so we could do something like this. I'm gonna put spaces in here because I start getting confused. Okay. All right, we need to change this one too yet to string. Okay. And then that would mean in here, we could say not found and then pass it a name, right, to string. Okay, that didn't work. I know Python and JavaScript. Is Rust a good language to learn next? I'm learning Go as well. I'm still very, very new to Rust. I've only been doing it a couple of weeks now. I mean, I've messed with it periodically on and off, but like I've only gotten serious about trying to learn it in the past couple of weeks. I have minor experience with Python, lots of experience with Java, a ton of experience with Go. I've been doing Go full-time since 2011. It's currently my primary language. But I think, you know, if you haven't used a language like Rust, why not? I think there's a lot to be learned from learning languages of different types. So you currently have experience in some dynamic languages. So I think learning a statically typed language, whether that's Go or Rust, I think would be advantageous. Yeah, and as Musin said, it very much depends on what you want to ultimately do. What types of things do you want to build? I'm learning Rust right now because I can't really use Go for what I want to. I'm depending on a library that's written in C, and just due to the nature of what I want to do, I don't want to do the calls from Go out to C, and the bindings aren't really updated, and I don't want to also maintain bindings for GStreamer. So my options were kind of like I needed something that hopefully had zero or very minimal costs calling out to C or C++, and I didn't want to write it in C or C++. And because I'm not great at either of them, I've tinkered with them. I've never had a full-time career writing them. So if, full-time C++ and C programmers can't trust themselves to write C and C++ code, I probably shouldn't either. And if I have to spend time learning how to write idiomatic code, it might as well be in the language that lots of people are headed towards. So, Alex, what types of things would you like to build is the question. I think that's really the starting point is as a software developer, what types of things do you want to build? And then that kind of at least weeds out some things and kind of focuses you into a list of technologies that are really common for that particular purpose. Okay, why are you broken? Expected one of, am I missing something here? Oh, it's that simple. Okay, so we're basically going to do the same thing here. Wait, no, we need two because not found is a type. So this is going to be, wait, input to string, name to string, okay. Okay, and then we need here, we're going to change this out to be the same thing. So in this case, we have an exists. Okay. Mixer error. In this case. Oh, oops. Alright. I messed this one up. Let's go to not found. That is input. Okay. Let's check exists. Okay, in this case, this is an output. I forgot. All of those things are in here, so we need to pay close attention. Otherwise, we're going to get some error messages that make no sense. Why? Cannot find value name in the scope. Oh, right. So this is output.name. Alright. So now we need our mixer error. Not found. Alright. Alright. This one's just name. Okay. Any others? Alright. One down. Wrong number of type arguments expected to found one. Alright, so I think we do have an issue here with our custom type. Where's that defined? Tab new source. It's in our lib. So this should be crate, right? Use error. Okay, so we just have an issue with, we need use, what is it? Is it crate? Because it's in a lib, right? So we need crate result. All right, let's catch up on chat here. What do we got going? If you want to expand your views on different languages, design implementations, then absolutely Rust is great because it has some rather novel features and its barrier of entry is rather low. I want to expand my portfolio and also for high performance-based projects, server-based projects. I will be learning Rust as I want to write performant socket server with some fine control over packet structure that I couldn't seem to get in Go. Plus Go's GC was doing some interesting things that I couldn't quite iron out. Yeah, Joker Dan, and that seems to be the thing, right? So I would, based on my limited experience with Rust and my extensive experience with Go, I think most people for their use cases of building, microservices that are HTTP, like RESTful HTTP APIs and things like that, nobody's going to care about the Go garbage collector. And it's actually really simple and straightforward to build APIs. Like something like this, I would have had knocked out in an hour. And, some of it's a learning and some of it requires a lot more kind of plumbing to get working. However, there are lots of cases where garbage collection matters and matters a lot. So I want to learn C, C++, but people say that it's really hard to learn and understand. I still want to do more C and assembly, and I might do some of that on stream too, try and learn both. You're not using create result. Yeah. Yeah, RESTful API is very quick to throw up and go for me. I use it for that and serve. Yeah. So if this wasn't interacting with the stuff that I needed to write in Rust or C or C++, I would be doing this HTTP API in Go. Okay. Whoa. That's not good. So we broke something. Let's go look at mod RS line 45. Oh, right. Because now we're returning a very specific error. So we are going to have to convert all of these. We're going to have to do our, is it map? No. Yeah, I think we're going to have to add like a map. Okay. This is not going to be fun. So let's, here's what we're going to do. Let's add a new one. And let's call this one, I don't know, GStreamer. And then we're just going to embed the error in here. And guess we're going to do a bunch of refactoring here. So really here, what we want to do is map error, right? Yeah. So we want to map the error here, and we're going to call this, we want the error. So this would be error GStreamer. And then we would pass in E. Can we do that? I mean, what's it return back? Cannot find function, tuple structure, tuple variant, GStreamer, and module error. Oh, wait. There we go. All right. We're gonna have to just do this. This turned into a much bigger refactor than I was anticipating, but it's just a glib bool error. They are all bool errors. Okay, so maybe the appropriate solution here is to figure out how to do this how to implement the from trait. I've been putting off learning how to do this long enough, so it looks like we're going to be doing this a ton here, rather than sitting here and going and adding a map call to each of these. I would assume that the appropriate response here is to figure out how to implement this. All right, so oh wait, what? All right, you drive me crazy. Copy. There we go. All right, let's look into this. I love Go. Me too, Alex Craven. I am obsessed with Go. All right, so you need a from. You probably need a GST error. Actually, it looks like most of those are glib bool error. Yep, so same thing. So error, GST error. All right, let's take a look at this, because that is exactly what I am trying to figure out. So that's the message. Oh, no way. That just works?
Someone
So
interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
I'm just gonna call it GST for now. So I just put from in the type in here and that just works? Thanks for the follow, Draculente. Yeah, I am really, really glad that you showed me this, Musin, because this is cool. An error was returned from GStreamer. Will this just work? Because I'm assuming it's in the tuple, so this would be the error. Okay, so okay, so we do still have some issues here. So we do have a state change error. So I guess we do need a couple of them. So we need a GST bool And we'll just, and then we do need a state change. And then that says that's from GSD state change error. State change error. Alright, so now we have like all this box dying stuff. And I think that's just because we haven't changed out all of our error implementations. So let's do that really quick. I think we might have done it in our inputs already, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think our issue is just that we haven't done it in our outputs yet. Right. Okay, so here's that, right? We supposedly don't need that anymore. We do need this. Alright, let's go change all of these out. Oops. There we go. Okay.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Night Sky. The person who made that crit is an absolute wizard with macros. Yeah, I can see that. If you use the struct variants, naming a field source will automatically have that from magic for that. Oops. All right. All right. I think that's it. All right. So that one's an easy fix. Online, wait, mod RS, line 168. All right. Okay, what do we got now? Line 133, expected enum, mixer error found, function item. Wait, on mod. 133. This error also won't show up in your public API. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is mainly just because now we need, this should be input, and then the input name. We need a 2-string on this. I thought I already did this.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Swastik. Expected expression on line 134. What am I missing here? Okay. That should be right. What am I missing here? Oh, I'm missing a closing here. All right, awesome. I think that we have all of our error well, both the splitting the crate up done and all of our error refactoring done, and we've got rid of all of the crazy box Stein stuff, which helps. And this is a really, really clean error thing. So now, in theory, we shouldn't have to do this mapping anymore. Oh no, we still need to do this. Oh, we do need this though too. We need mixer.to. And then we need name. What did I mess up here? Mismatch closing delimiter 46. Why? What else do we have? Call expression requires a function. Alright, so I don't think we're importing the right error here. Oh, because we have this error here. Okay, right. So in this case, we just haven't copied over the similar thing, right? Well, no, because we don't really need to do this, right? What line was that on? $38. Because now... Wait. On HTTP. Because now... I'm not a Lisp programmer. Yeah, Lisp is not a language I have ever tried. Alright, let's see. Alright. So we shouldn't need this anymore, right? We should be able to just... Oh, wait a second. No, because this error is an HTTP error, which this is not. So we either need a generic type here where we wrap the error, or we need to convert it to our own error. And I think converting it to our own error in the case of the HTTP library is okay. I don't know if we would want to hand back the specific error. Try it, it's fun. Also, you become insufferable. I was thinking maybe Haskell. Do you think there's a large Haskell audience on Twitch? Okay. Let's see. As for one big error enum versus smaller ones, if you start with one big one, you can split it up into smaller ones and just have a from for the smaller one. This error makes refactoring errors natural. Okay, so I guess that's a good point too, right? So in this case, I could have this top level here, but I could just copy this, right? So in theory, I could have something like this and just call it mixer error, right? And then it would just be mixer error. Something along these lines. Well, that's not right. Error is private. Okay. It's not private. Enum import error is private. It's not private though. Is that something to do with the mod? No. What am I missing? Right, so you have error mixer error at the end. Oh, right. Yeah, you're talking about. Yeah, I have pub mod error here. This is in Mixer's mod RS, so that is public. And the enum is public as well. So I'm not entirely sure why this thinks that it is not public. And that's still 9:45. Still thinks we're missing some. We're still missing something. What are we missing? Okay, that's fixed. We're gonna come back to you because what I really want to do is just do this. This is the end goal. So we're just gonna make that happen. Okay. Look at the green error. Green error. Right. The enum import error is defined here. And refers to the enum error, which is defined here. Consider importing it directly. So mod error I don't think I entirely understand why. Hold on, let's get a clean run here. So this is saying that's a private module though. So we still need that. Oh, inside of our librs. Oh, we're basically pushing it up. I gotcha. Okay, so we need one for none error. And then what's our other issue? Well, let's fix this one first. All right, try using a variant of the expected enum. So it's always just mixer error and never mixer error. Okay. All right, so yeah, we just need to change that. So first I need to, wait. Wait a second. Line 43, you go away. You can go away for now. Line 43, what do we got going on? Okay, so insert returns back an option. Right, so we need it to, we need a, I always forget the methods here. I know there's one. So if you put a semicolon after the, oh, okay, so because this just sort of does the right thing, and then it falls through here. No, couldn't convert the error to HTTP error. All right, it still wants one there. So what is throwing the none error? That is when we try to insert it. What is none error supposed to represent? Because when we insert it, we get back. So really this insert is, let's just, yeah, so we need like a, okay, or, and then we're gonna say error. I'm just gonna give an unknown here because like this is failing to insert it into a hash map. That shouldn't be an issue. Now what do you complain? Oh, typo, typo. Okay. On mixer create line 39. Oh, it's still the same one. Implicitly returns. Okay. we still need this. So if we do that, then we don't really need that, do we? I would do... So what is none? What does that represent in an insert? Like I guess I'm not connecting with what the word none has to do with failing to insert. So you're saying basically say, hey, if dot is none, then return back
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
unknown. So that's your preferred approach would be here. Thanks for the follow, C Bueno 81. And I guess that would just be a matter of personal preference, but wait a second. So is none is not. So that's not really an error then, is it? Right. Because in this case, that's really what we want, right? This should be exists, right? Already exists. We'll clean this up later. So, exists. All right, that works. So I guess let's go ahead and add all of this. Oops. Refactoring, error handling logic, and create layout. Okay. For a summary, none equals it inserted for the first time, sum v replace the value. Right. So in this particular case, none is a good thing. Oh, because insert would succeed either way. There's where is it? There is a I know there's another method on here I was reading about. Oh. Now I'm trying to remember what it was, where if you only want it to do it if it doesn't exist already. I was reading about it in the Rust book. The state now has a new value but produced an error. Entry. There we go. That is what I wanted. Let's pull this up. Okay, gets to giving keys corresponding entry in the map for in-place manipulation. Oh, wait, no, this is the opposite of that. This is if I only want to update it if it already exists, right? Wait, I'm confused. So this is entry, and this is examples. Oh, there it is. Letters entry. Or insert 0. So right. Okay, so yeah. So this is what we really want. We want this match statement. So really this would be we would really have a match mixers here. We would want to return back so in this case it would be okay, right? We remove that from here. We leave this as an expression. We delete that. Paste that at the end. We delete that. So here we don't really care what they are. Oops. It would look something like this. This function takes one argument, but 2 arguments are supplied. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so really, here we need, so we still need that down there. So, will we put a return here? And then here we would say entry. Oh, but we'd have to manipulate that, right? We wouldn't say entry mixer, right? No, I guess we could say or insert here. Okay, we call dot enter. We call dot insert on that. The or insert would be applied to the dot entry itself. What's this? Failed to resolve use of undeclared module entry. Oh. We need our use statement. Okay. Match arm has incompatible types. What do you mean you have incompatible types? Expected enum. Oh, because this isn't going to work that way anymore. We still need this. Okay. There we go. Or insert is on, right, okay. The Rust hash map is weird, but it solves some real issues with standard unordered map. It allows for a single lookup and atomic modification. Instead of if contains foo, return error map insert that does 2 hashes and 2 lookups, which can be very expensive. Entry does a single lookup and hash. That's really useful. Yeah, I think it's just going to take a little while for me to remember all of these things and for me to just like right off the bat think of them. But I mean, this is starting to clean up quite a bit, and I'm really starting to like what is, right? And even that, you know, little helper there to create our own little result type. And I feel like I should do the same thing for here too. You know, call it warp result or something like that. Yeah, that's one of the things that scares me is, you know, those race conditions like that. All right, I think I am going to call it quits for the day. I don't know that we would make much progress on anything new, and I'd be getting off in the next 15 minutes or so anyway. But thank you all for hanging out. This is a ton of fun. Thank you all who are contributing your ideas and libraries to use and helping me with my terrible Rust code. One day I will be able to be productive in this language. I suppose we should find somebody to raid, huh? I don't stream on Tuesdays. I will be back on Wednesday. Typically Monday, Wednesday, Thursday are a guarantee from 1 p.m. to 4:30, 5 p.m. Eastern time are my typical streaming days. And yeah, and then I'll throw in the occasional day like Tuesday or Friday here or there. And sometimes I'll get back on in the evening and stream working on the bot or whatnot. All right, let's see. Who do we have on? Programming. If all else fails, we can hit up Bald Bearded Builder, maybe? Open source Python. Machine learning on live video with Azure. Live CEOing. MMO. C++ game engine from scratch. Who said they wanted to learn C++? Learning Lua. Let's hit up a small streamer. Julia. Let's see. All right, I'm thinking 3D game engine in C++, or what was the other one? Learning Lua. Oh, somebody was talking about C++ earlier. Let's do that. Again, thank you all for hanging out. This is so much fun. It makes me incredibly happy to be able to hang out here with all of you while I get to work on these projects. I'm super, super grateful for all of you who show up and help me. I will see you all on Wednesday.